Hi, I'm Margaret from Heidi and Lana, and today I'm going to show you how to do the Latvian braid, which is a stitch that is used in my Hearth pattern. So the Latvian braid in Hearth is worked flat, and so that's what I'll be demonstrating here. And this is one of those things that when you look at it finished, it looks like it would be super complicated, but it's actually so easy. So I've already worked my setup row here, which is just the row where you're knitting, alternating the colors, the two colors, just one of each across. And so now I'm ready for the second row, which this is where the magic happens on the second and the third rows. So I'm just going to go ahead and knit my first edge stitch, and you'll just follow the pattern for exactly what to do, especially on the edge stitches. So I went ahead and just knit my first edge stitch. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring color number, we're going to call this one color number 2 and the brown color number 1. So I'm going to bring color number 2, and you would just refer to whatever the pattern says, whether it's 1 or 2, like whichever order. But all you're going to be doing is just taking the color that you want to knit the next stitch with under the other one. So I'm just bringing this one under that one, and then I'm just going to not drop my stitch. Let's put that back in there. Okay, so this cream has gone under the brown, and that's the one that I'm going to knit with. So now I'm just going to knit a stitch with the cream, and you're always going to be working the stitch, whether it's knit or purl, but it's always going to be with the same color as what it already is. So this is a brown stitch next, so I know that I have to use the brown yarn. And the brown yarn is just going to come under the cream. And what I find is easiest, and this may not work for you depending on how you knit or how you hold your yarns, is if I put the one that I just used up here at the top, then this one just naturally has to come underneath. And so then I'll just knit with the brown. Bring it up here, and if I just hold it with my thumb, then this one naturally goes underneath. If you don't hold your yarns like that, you can also just now take the brown under the cream and then knit with it. Oops, I'm so used to doing it the other way. Take the cream under the brown and knit with it. Take the brown under the cream and knit with it, or else the way of putting it up top here. Put the old one up top. So either one gives the same effect, and you'll notice how these are starting to get very tangled already. And what I do is I just slide the tangles down, pull out a lot of yarn from your yarn balls, and just keep sliding those tangles away, because on the next row the yarns will naturally untwist themselves. If the tangles do, like the twists, bother you too much, you can stop and untwist them. Just know that then on the next row, you're going to have to then untwist it as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and work the next row. So I'm going to knit my edge stitch here, and then this is where we start the braid. So now I'm going to bring this forward so that both yarns are in the front, because this row is going to be all purled. And you know what? I'm going to slide my needle out there because I've actually got it going in between the two yarns, which is going to make that difficult. There we go. So both yarns in the front, and now we are going to do the same thing, only we're going to be purling the stitches this time. So you're going to bring the color that you want to work with. So this is color 2 under color 1, and then I'm going to purl a stitch with that color. And the same thing, it'll always be the same color. So this is a brown stitch, so that means we bring the brown one underneath and purl with it. And you can kind of see how this almost naturally just wants to go up top there, and that I think just makes it so much easier because you don't really even have to pull it underneath anything. It just naturally goes under it if this one, the one you just used, is laying up top there. But if you prefer to keep them down here, you can also just pull it under just lay it up there and purl. Lay it up there. And if we've done this right, when we get to the end of the row, they should be pretty much untwisted. And you can see that they are untwisted. So now I'm going to go ahead and work just one plain row so you can really see what the braid looks like. And then here is what it looks like finished. So it creates a very dimensional braid on the fabric, and it's like V's, you know, pointing this way. So a super easy but really decorative stitch. Thanks so much for watching. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and Facebook, all under Heidi and Lana. Happy knitting!